All gas, no brakes. The late Prince Philip, aka the Prince of No Nonsense, has had some funny moments where he becomes impatient to tomfoolery, and it has caused some publicity over the years.
Now we will be handing over to Claire Balding, who is going to be the MC for proceedings. Now what? Now this I like. Did you see that?
Is he instructing?
This clip is hilarious because as much as he was royalty, he is still human, and on top of that, a grandparent. And that gesture and a reaction reminds me of something my grandpa would do. The tap and the hand wave saying, "Pitter patter, get me home." Pure entertainment. Poor Zara. Prince William spoke on an incident in his youth that again makes me smile seeing the human in the royals, because these moments are in their own way wholesome. Speaking during documentary The Queen at 90, William explained, "Prince Philip and I were chasing Zara around who was on a go-kart, and we managed to herd Zara into a lamppost, and the lamppost came down and nearly squashed her. And I remember my grandmother being the first person out at Balmoral to come running across the lawn in her kilt. She came charging over and gave us the most almighty telling off. And that sort of stuck in my mind from that moment on." You may ask, "Excuse me, Mr. Voiceover Video Guy, why does this make you smile?" And the reason being, it's funny to read of or see the late Prince Philip and the Queen outside of being royals and just being grandparents. Kids will be kids. Royal or not, kids will be kids, and this is a perfect example of that at a polo event in June 2018 when Savannah Phillips got in trouble. The then 7-year-old jokingly pushed her cousin Prince George down a hill. He appeared shocked and tearful. Autumn Phillip gave her a telling off as she grinned cheekily. If the cameras were on me as a kid, my brother would be in public shame for how much he messed with me, but we're best friends to this day because that's what siblings do. And if you're thinking of commenting siblings don't push each other or anything in that manner, you were either an only child or had a boring childhood. Just take the picture. I mean, the late Prince Philip makes a point here. Take the picture already. Take the photo, the prince had a point. I'm sure anyone in this position would be sick of holding a fake smile. On top of that, whoever says he's a royal and shouldn't be swearing, to counter that, he was a naval hero, so he can swear if he wants. He has all my respect knowing his history, and he should have yours too. Therefore, he can say whatever he wants. He can say, "Take a picture." Take the picture. But his way of saying it was funny, to which slowed down the photo shoot because many of the people in the room were laughing, including Prince William. William, stand up. The beloved late Queen Elizabeth, though she was monarch itself, she's still a mother and a grandmother. And the moments the media captured her doing those duties, they caused for some funny publicity, like this moment caught on camera. I don't know the exact words after being told to stand up, but I hope it was of the sorts of, "I'm sorry, Mom," because Prince William is a man to which I respect highly, and that sentence is universal, and no matter what age you are or how royal you are, Mother knows best. BBC journalist. Prince William, I have to say, is my favorite royal and a man who is looked up to by many, which is why when he uses his strong words in order for change, it is so powerful. And in this instant, he did exactly that. In a filmed statement, Prince William said he felt indescribable sadness to know that the corporation's failures contributed significantly to his late mother's fear, paranoia, and isolation. He added, "In an era of fake news, public service broadcasting, and a free press have never been more important. These failings identified by investigations journalists not only let my mother down and my family down, they let the public down too." He called out news stations in a drastic way which needed to be done. Super Prince Harry? Prince Harry lost his cool during the couple's tour of Morocco in February 2019. The prince told a cameraman to back off as he accidentally knocked a child with his equipment. Harry and Meghan were tasting local cuisine, including a pigeon pie dish, with the prince cheering up the little girl by giving her the chef's hat. Had to be Prince Harry.
That's my specialty. Is
I'm sure he put a smile on the kid's face along with giving her a story to tell for life. Superhero Harry to that little girl. Prince Louis. I hope he's a comedian one day because he sure makes everyone around him laugh, except maybe his mother. Kate struggled to keep little Louis under control during the party at the palace as a part of Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee celebrations. Kate had her hands full with little Prince Louis, who proceeded to pull a series of entertaining faces. At the moment, the 4-year-old started sucking his thumb, much to his mother's annoyance and our entertainment. Kate was quick to try and distract her son and tapped his thumb out of his mouth. But in true Louis form, his fun and hilarious behavior continued. Moments later, he pulled a cheeky face at his mother, sticking his tongue out at her, forcing Kate to have a quiet, stern word with him. Amused by the situation unraveling before his eyes, Mike Tyndale gave Louis the "I'm watching you" hand gestures. Kate, who was sitting next to the 4-year-old, could be seen laughing at the sweet exchange between her son and the former rugby player. Twitter misinterpretation. A video of the Queen and Princess Anne went viral after the NATO reception at Buckingham Palace in December 2019. It looked like the monarch was chastising her daughter in front of the former US President Donald Trump. But in fact, Anne was standing back because she was not part of the welcome party. When the Queen looked to see who was next in line to be greeted, Anne raised her hand in the air, laughed, and said, "It's just me and this lot," pointing to members of the household behind her. Twitter went crazy after some mistook Anne's gestures for not wanting to meet the then President Trump. I can understand where the confusion came from, but slow down, Twitter. That's so weird that someone would jump to a conclusion. Mommy duty. Kate was on mommy duty at her sister Pippa Middleton's wedding in 2017, but there was one instant where she had to have a few crosswords with her son Prince George. The cheeky youngster was spotted playing behind his aunt's wedding dress and shaking out his flower basket before Kate, who also had her hands full with Princess Charlotte, gave him a quick talking to. George briefly shed some tears after he was scolded, but quickly was back to his antics. Sounds like Kate has her hands full as a mother, but honestly, kids who goof around the most and are curious always turn out to have full personalities, so Kate, you're doing amazing. Busted lip. There's a strong dislike from Harry towards the press for very understandable reasons, but it has definitely caused for some justified moments when dealing with the said press or paparazzi. In 2004, 7 years after his mother passed away, he had a run-in with the press whilst leaving a nightclub, to which a scuffle broke out, leaving photographer Chris Uncle with a bloody lip. A Clarence House statement claimed that the prince was hit in the face by the camera as he moved towards his car and pushing the camera away. It's understood that a photographer's lip was cut. Keep it down! At a G20 summit in 2009, the late Queen got rather annoyed with the politician Silvio Berlusconi due to his volume. All the leaders gathered at Buckingham Palace for a photograph with the late Queen, and after said photo, it stated Berlusconi shouted, "Mr. Obama," across the room. Needless to say, the Queen did not appreciate how loud it was. "What is it?" the exasperated monarch said, throwing her arms in the air. "Why does he have to shout? Why? I mean, it's a good question. No need to get excited. I'm sure Obama would have heard you at a monotone level." The rest of the leaders laughed, but the late Queen didn't seem too amused. Prince Harry leak. Straight up, if you would disagree with Harry here for being mad, you obviously strive off being difficult, because this is disgraceful behavior on the paparazzi's behalf. The prince reportedly felt like a normal person when he was away with the armed forces, which is why he lost his temper big time when one of his deployments had to be cut short. The press somehow discovered his location, and Prince Harry, along with the rest of his regiment, and putting a halt to the deployment. He was justifiably furious. Morocco. On October 1st, 2019, the prince released an official statement condemning the British tabloids press for waging what he describes as a ruthless campaign against Meghan Markle. "I lost my mother and now I watch my wife falling victim to the same powerful forces." So I think it's fair to say he's grown a stronger dislike over the years. The prince made headlines in February 2019 after becoming visibly annoyed to actions of a local TV cameraman during him and Markle's trip to Morocco. Video footage obtained by Express shows a stern-faced Harry physically intervening and instructing the photographer to back off. Haters gonna hate. Meghan Markle absolutely called out her haters, which I know is not of popular opinion, but is well deserved because she gets hate on for literally breathing. She identifies how much of what people think is inflammatory is not what she said, but people's interpretation of it. P.S. Meghan is not paying me to say this in case that's what you were about to comment. I don't know if you see those comments, but they're getting paid by Meghan. This is PR stunts. Getting snippy. This video is surprisingly not Prince Harry getting snippy with the press, but the man, the myth, Prince William. In this 2014 footage, we see William and Harry both helping flood victims. When a cameraman asks William what has he been doing, a sardonic William tells him, well, you could come and help instead of simply filming. This is a prime example just how much a G Prince William is. Unless this man is the best actor ever to hit spotlight, he seems to just be a stud, a genuine, nice, well-spoken guy. Misinterpretation. The late Queen held a very good image and rarely lost her temper. In fact, she was able to make proper adjustments and critiques in an elegant manner. But not when it came to this event. It all began when BBC revealed footage of the late Queen trying on different clothing and accessories for an upcoming photo shoot. The footage shows the late Queen apparently storming out while saying, "I've had enough dressing like this, thank you very much." This is where the misinterpretation started. This was actually footage of the late Queen arriving for the photo shoot instead of storming off. Somebody was about to get fired. Rehab. Relax, it's merely a lesson over an actual need of rehab, but Prince Harry spent a day at rehab after admitting to his father that he participated on multiple occasions in the odd substance. The 17-year-old was sent to rehab with the quote, "to learn about the possible consequences." I know he's royal, but that's a bit much for a kid who just likes to party. Prince William. William, I get it, you had a camera, but you could have taken him. Protocol schmotocol, that guy wouldn't leave you alone. Throw 1-2 Mayweather and he won't do it again. Prince William looked furious, which is well justified. I mean, press never leaves you alone even when you're just enjoying a day with your family. I'd get pretty annoyed. Helicopter inbound. Harry and Meghan's home in the Cotswolds was photographed from a helicopter, and the pictures were later printed in a newspaper, prompting the royals to move out of fear of their safety and security. The couple's living area, dining room, and bedroom were shown. Harry's statement was read in open court, noting that he accepted the agency's apology and substantial damages. Meghan angry with paparazzi. Meghan was caught giving this face to some paparazzi taking photos through the car window. Some thought that maybe Meghan was making that face at Harry, but it seems more likely that she was annoyed with the photographers. After all, neither Meghan nor Harry is fond of the British press, which is fair considering what they deal with surrounding the press. Keep rapping. I wouldn't say that this is a public freakout, but more an annoyance shown by Kate. The Duchess of Cambridge was at an event where she was helping wrap gifts, and she briefly stopped to chat with some people. Someone else piped up, seemingly rudely, "Keep rapping," and Kate rolled her eyes in response, but she did indeed return to rapping. Don't you dare talk to beloved Kate like that. Kate, good on you giving attitude. It was well deserved. Let her enjoy the event. It's a charity, not a sweatshop. Trump walked in front of the Queen. Former US President Donald Trump majorly broke protocol when he kept walking in front of the Queen during his visit to England. She looked so miffed that she had to keep stepping out of his literal shadow. He did it at least twice, and the monarch did not seem happy about it. Protocol was important to the late Queen, and Donald Trump's actions were a bit slight. Mr. Trump, make protocols great again. Princess Charlotte. When she was just 2 years old, she had a meltdown at the airport in Germany. Kate didn't seem thrilled that her daughter was throwing a tantrum in front of the press and quickly tried to resolve the situation. Princess Charlotte, no excuse, you're a royal. I get that if you were still a 1-year-old, you could maybe throw a mini tantrum, but you're a big girl now. We can't have that utter disrespect. She's a baby, of course she's gonna throw a tantrum. I mean, look at all the Karens, even in their 70s they throw tantrums. Who are we to judge? Charlotte again. Charlotte had enough of the press. Being followed by photographers all the time likely wears on a young child, so Charlotte gave the press a piece of her mind at a sailing event. Kate had been trying to get Charlotte to wave to the cameras, but instead Charlotte stuck out her tongue. Kate couldn't help but laugh at her spirited daughter's reaction. Had to be, Charlotte, let them hear it. Evil press, luckily you stuck out your tongue and didn't give them the finger. Although it would have been way funnier. Diana and Charles. Prince Charles, now King Charles, and Princess Diana, marriage was notoriously strained, with the duo eventually separating in 1992. But things were bad long before that, and many of the photos of them together show this rift. In this picture from 1991, Diana looks unhappy, while Charles frowns and looks down. Maybe if Camilla was there, he'd be smiling. Too soon for that joke? I mean, did Charles ever want to marry Diana? We know his heart was there for Camilla. I still love the late Diana. Prince Harry and the press. Despite his tell-all interview, Prince Harry is well known to hold dislike for the press and has had run-ins with members of the media on more than a few occasions. After a visit to a hospital, the Duke of Sussex was returning to his vehicle when he was asked a question by a Sky News reporter. Clearly not in the mood to answer, the prince called out the journalist by name, saying, "Ryan, don't behave like this." I love that response. It's so belittling in the best way possible. I'd be Harry, you know you're my hero. I definitely pronounced that name wrong. Let me know in the comments if I did. Sarah Ferguson. A little bit of a stray from the royals we normally talk about, but nobody could forget the time that Sarah, Duchess of York, was in the middle of an interview with 60 Minutes in 2011, which went off the rails. After being pressed by the interviewer about her news of the world scandal, Fergie got furious and demanded portions of the footage be deleted before storming out of the room. I love a good old storm out. Sentable Polo Cup. When Prince Harry attended the Sentable Polo Cup in Italy, May 2019, he couldn't help but let his feelings be known about the use of plastic. His friend and professional polo player Nacho Figueres told CBS, "We were at the hotel where we spent the night before the game. He talked to a person and said, 'This morning I got coffee and saw that you have a plastic thing on your coffee. And then I also sent my shirt and I got my shirt in a plastic bag. Can we please not use plastic?' Nacho added, 'So that's this guy, okay? I don't like to talk about that at all. That's who he is. That's who they are. No plastic.' TV presenter Gayle King replied, 'They're trying to make the world a better place every day.' Nacho had previously defended the royal in another interview and on Instagram, saying the world didn't know the real Harry. 'The world thinks they know everything about this man,' he wrote. 'I've been fortunate enough to spend time over the years to learn and understand the man. He really is a kind, generous, compassionate person who is constantly thinking about how to make the world a better place. I see him do that over and over again, and it is truly inspiring. I am honored to be your friend, and let's keep fighting, because if we all fight together, love always wins.' I'm sorry if this is ignorant, but can someone please tell me what polo is? Because I have no idea. Helicopter inbound. Harry and Meghan's $2.5 million country home was photographed from a helicopter, and the pictures were later printed in a newspaper, prompting the royals to move out after they feared for their safety and security. The couple's living area, dining area, and bedroom were shown. Harry's statement was read in open court, noting that he accepted the agency's apology and substantial damages. Harry's solicitor, Gerald Terrell, said, "The property had been chosen by the Duke for himself and his wife given the high level of privacy it afforded, given its position in the secluded area surrounded by private farmland, away from areas to which photographers have access." The helicopter flew over the home at a low altitude, allowing Splash to take photographs of and into the living room area and dining room area of the home and directly into the bedroom. The syndication and publication of the photographs very seriously undermine the safety and security of the Duke and the home to the extent that they are no longer able to live at the property. I mean, fair play, Harry, this isn't GTA. You can't just whip around a helicopter near houses at your convenience. Figure it out. Thanks for watching.